Hi guys, welcome to Trading in Zones. This is a new series of street talk videos which we are doing. So it's a weekly street talk to understand how the market is doing over the last week and what we can expect going forward. All right. So from a Nifty perspective, what we saw, it made a new high, and the new high was very significant. You could see that on the closure of last Friday, it closed on a positive note, and that positive note also was significantly followed by a very strong news which was released on Monday, where we could see that the trade deficit for the country has significantly come down, and that's a very big positive. So technically, what happens is when the deficit or the loans which the country has is coming down, and you see a significant difference in that, it becomes a big positive for the market. And we could see on the second trading session this week, the market just kept flying. We could see 100 plus points in Nifty movement. However, Friday we could see a significant amount of profit booking, and most of the stocks got corrected. While a few are very strong, we will talk about those few stocks. And then the most important thing is there were certain news which hit the market. Big news, Jet Airways, how it impacted the other airline stocks. We'll definitely review them and we will definitely talk about them. One of the other things which also happened on Friday, which we could see, was significant amount of profit booking kicked in. Market moved down from its all-time high. So it seems to be a thing which is happening as it tries to make the new high. There is no strong breakout. Significant amount of profit booking is kicking in, and Nifty is currently holding around 11,500, 11,600 kind of levels, pretty strongly from a spot perspective. But future again slightly higher. If you see the charts, you will be able to understand, how the support is kicking in every time it comes right down to those levels. So let's go with Jet Airways, the first one, which is a significant news which we could see in the market. We saw that they closed their operations and the market opened gap down 10%. On Friday, there was a circuit lock and then it moved further down. Very unfortunate, 22,000 odd employees have been not being paid for quite some time, and they're all on the roads and they're wondering how they're going to get a job. It's a very sad state. This is the second airline which is creating this kind of an issue in our country. After Kingfisher, no one expected Jet Airways to be in this kind of a situation, but huge amount of debt, and not successful in terms of operations. And last year I remember trading the stock close to 700, and imagine today, even while it locked 10% down, it was trading only around 200 300 range. So that itself talks about how things have significantly gone wrong for Jet Airways over a period of time, which is not a great thing for any company. Because when you see the balance sheet, when your flights are grounded because of the debt, and people are holding your flights because you have not paid, it's a very bad thing for the company. And right now there is some good news which is trickled in, where we saw that Air India has closely offered about 150 employees of Jet Airways some jobs. I'm hoping more jobs will be given, and I'm hoping those poor people who have lost their jobs and their families are taken care. And I'm hoping government or SBI takes a stance where they look at the humanitarian part and not really let those employees down, because that's going to make a big impact for those lives who are also dependent on those incomes from those employees who were part of Jet Airways. So I'm really hoping there will be some action, and people will be taken care of. Well, that was a bad news for Jet Airways, but however, that turned out to be a big boon for companies like Indigo and SpiceJet. I'm not sure how many people have been watching these stocks. These stocks just flew. They flew so fast, though they flew so quick. Indigo is at all-time high. SpiceJet was just going, right? Significant amount of movements which are seen by these stocks, and these stocks have made new highs, and which is a fantastic thing to watch. So if anyone's been bullish on these stocks, would have made significant amount of money. Indigo also has one more thing attached to it. While we are talking about airlines, while we are talking about jet, it's very important to mention uh, the difference between jet and Indigo, right? It's a significant difference. The reason why I'm gonna say this is because they had a huge loss. There was a 95% cut in their performance the second or the third quarter, if I'm not wrong, where they announced their results and the stock fell down to around 800. To see the turnaround story today, it hitting a 1600, it's given a 100% return in a span of just 6 months, right? That's like a multi-bagger stock. Many multi-bagger stocks have not given those kind of returns, because last year the market was very volatile. It was an up and down kind of a ride, and this year, slowly it's making highs, while there is a lot of profit booking which is happening each time it makes a new high. So apart from these airline stocks, the other thing which we need to be very cautious while we are trading airline stocks is how the crude prices are going to behave. There is a lot of stock cut in crude. So if there is going to be a lesser inventory of crude oil going forward, we might see more price increase which might happen, which is not a great news for some of the airline stocks especially, and there might be more corrections which we might see. The other stock which was also on my radar from quite some time is PC Jeweler, and a lot of people have been wondering why PC Jeweler is increasing in its price so much, while it kind of rallied almost 100% maybe this year. And it's also a stock which just rallied 40-50% as I saw in the week previous. So a significant amount of movement. The question comes in everyone's mind as to what is happening in the stocks. It fell down. It fell down significantly because there was a lot of things which went wrong for this particular company, and they were not able to maintain their balance sheets appropriately. A lot of issues which propped up because of that, audit concerns, etc., etc., and eventually the stock fell down big time. But recently, the news on the street is that there is a foreign investor who's kind of bought 2% of Jet Airways from the market. So that has kicked the sentiments up, and the price started shooting up, and it has shot up significantly. While there is a bit of a U-turn which was noticed on Friday, could also be significant amount of profit booking because the stock has rallied a lot. But if it starts consolidating, it seems like there is a buyback which is coming and maybe good results around the corner. And this is a significant kind of a thing which is going to happen in the market very shortly. So keep a watch on PC Jeweler. There is something which is cooking, and there is probably more to come. And some of the other stocks, we had quite a few IT stocks which kind of made their weekly announcements out. So if you see the list of stocks, the top IT stocks in my mind at least is one is TCS, the second one is Infosys, and Wipro. Out of these three, I would obviously rate TCS way higher, because if you see their order book, the amount of clients what they have in the list, and the kind of expansion plans, the kind of automations they are coming in, etc., these things make it sound buy at this point in time. If you also see the charts, the stock has significantly moved up. All the weekly levels are broken. I'm expecting more movement coming in TCS. One of the single most important behaviors which I could see in that stock is, though the market significantly corrected on Friday, there was significant amount of buying which was happening in TCS. So I definitely must watch for the coming week from a stock performance perspective. Apart from that, if you see some of its competitors, Infosys is taking a beating because the results were not that great. Obviously, maybe a buyback which will come, and the stock might move. 700, 707 is a key level where a lot of buying was seen previously. If it continues to kind of hold that level, we might see some recovery in Infosys. Wipro has announced a buyback which is approved, and their buyback is way higher. It is moving significantly in the market because of that. One of my other favorite sector which I was watching last week, which is worth mentioning in this particular video, is Tata Motors, Maruti, and also I'm keeping a very close eye on Madasumi as a auto ancillary company, not technically an auto company, but They have a huge client list and they manufacture for a lot of companies. So if you see, I'll go in the reverse order. The first one, which obviously came to my mind, was Motherson. It's a stock which I am invested in myself, and I'm expecting that stock to make some new highs. All right, it's been consolidating for a very long period of time between 140, 160 kind of a level. Multiple times it's reached around 170 and it's kind of retraced. So I'm expecting some kind of a breakout by the time they announce results. I'm expecting them to announce good results. Given that some of the companies which are doing really well, who are there on their portfolio list, I'm expecting a good movement in Motherson coming forward. So that's definitely a stock to watch in the coming week. Maruti, all the weekly resistance levels are broken. If it retraces, consolidates and holds a certain level, there is more move. Friday saw some kind of a profit booking in Maruti. Didn't show much strength from a bull's perspective. Index came down. Maruti was also significantly looking weak from a buying perspective. I didn't see much of interest in buyers to kind of carry forward the positions, and every high it was trying to make, there was good amount of profit booking which was seen. So but overall, when you look at Maruti, it is holding 6,500 very strongly and it's moving up. So in a range, it's a great accumulation. I'm hearing Celerio has been sold by a lakh plus, which is significant for Maruti, and it looks like a turnaround story and looks like they've got a good car. And 1 lakh cars sold in a year is significant, right? So that is something which we need to definitely keep on our radar to watch. Apart from Maruti, Tata Motors is a stock which I've been recommending for a lot of people from a very long period of time. Tata Motor was consolidating between 160, 170. It was available at a very highly discounted value, because if you see, even the book value was around 235, 240 odd levels, and today the current market price is probably around the book value in my view. And it was a very interesting value pick because we can see a good turnaround, but still I'm waiting for the news, waiting to see what's the turnaround story in actuals in terms of numbers on their balance sheet. But going forward, that is a stock to continue to watch. 250 approx levels is a kind of resistance for it, but if it breaks through that, starts moving, there might be more movement. So, and I've been talking about this since the time it crossed 180, 190, that it's been a significant buy, and I've been talking about this since it crossed 200, 210, and then later crossing 220. So significant barriers and gaps have been filled on the chart technically. So looking very strong. So it's a stock which we can continue to watch. Given that the auto sector is also on a strong reversal pattern. So if the reversal continues, there might be more coming in the days. So these are some of the stocks which are making a lot of news. There is a lot which is happening in the market. There is more stocks to watch which will be coming up. We'll be making a new series where we'll talk about stocks to watch on a daily basis. Apart from this, if you talk about CNC stocks, the last two trading sessions, Shilpa Med is a stock which has some amount of volumes kicked in and significant amount of movement which it made. It's on my radar, so it's something which is worth watching for you as well. All right, so having said this, this was our first weekly review, and we'll continue to keep making more weekly reviews for all of you. We'll start talking about the market, and we'll start talking more about the stocks which have been making a lot of noise in the market, if you may say. And we'll come back to you with more to watch next week. And do keep a tab on our channel, subscribe and like and share the videos. We have an upcoming training very soon, the 1st of May. I'm hoping more people who are interested to learn technical analysis or even fundamentals would want to join. This is just a basic course to equip you in stock market and understand how stocks move, why they move, and what their behaviors are, which is very important for a trader to understand if he wants to be successful in the market. All right, so take care. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. Wish you all a wonderful weekend, and see you on Monday for stocks to watch on Monday. Take care. Bye.